guys, today we are going to learn something that I've always wanted to actually learn how to do. We're gonna make some bread. Using some very simple ingredients: flour, okay, salt, sugar, a packet of yeast, and some warm water. Now I know that you can use like raisins and other types of ingredients in it, but I have not gotten to the store yet, so I haven't been able to actually get those, okay? So before we begin though, we need to put on our handy dandy apron. So let's put that on. Okay, so now I can protect my clothes and I'm ready to go. You can always just wear messy clothes. Okay, so step one says, in a large mixing bowl, okay, we're going to mix together the yeast, the sugar, the salt, and the water until the yeast dissolves. Now, this is not just regular tap water. This has been boiled, so let's check the temperature with my temperature gauger. Man, it still says it's 130, so I'm actually going to put an ice cube in it. Let's mix that up. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I might as well just dump the rest of the ice. Okay, so it's important that your water is not too hot because otherwise it can burn the yeast, apparently. And so what we're doing is we're going to activate the yeast. Okay. So let's see the temperature now. Okay, it's 102. So not as hot as I wanted it to be, but not too bad. Okay, so I have my bowl. I'm going to pour in the water into my bowl. And I'm going to open up my yeast. Now I have a tiny bit extra from last time, but I'm just going to pour it in because otherwise it's going to go bad. Because there's not much in the yeast. Okay. So I have my yeast and I have my sugar and salt. So I'm putting my sugar in it. Now I'm putting my salt in it. 1 tablespoon of each. So a tablespoon looks like this. Do I need to focus? So 1 tablespoon of each. Okay, so now I need to mix it until the yeast disappears. Let's see where it's at. Darn, I still see a few clumps. So I'm going to try and push those against the edge if I can to squeeze them out. So I have that. It is dissolved. So now I need to gradually add the flour 1 cup at a time. Now I just quickly washed my hands. And I need to add 1 cup at a time until I get 5 to 6 cups. Or 5.5 to 6 cups. So I want to put this on the pan so I don't make such a big mess. Okay, so here is my first cup. And I'm going to start mixing it. Okay, let's get our 3rd cup in there. Cup 3. reason why I'm using a fork is because it tends to grab the materials easier and mix it. I don't know why, but I have found that using a fork is a lot more effective than like mixing with a spoon. 5. Okay. Okay, so I have my dough. I took it out. So now I'm going to clean this bowl out. So I cleaned out my bowl, and now it says put some olive oil in it. So I don't have olive oil, so I'm going to use avocado oil. And I don't need that much because I actually already put some on the dough while I was kneading it. So I'm rubbing the oil inside, okay, greasing it up. And now I'm going to put my dough back inside, okay? So I'm going to knead it for a second, make sure it's all together. Okay, so I already, like I said, I already put some oil on it. So now we need to let it rise. So see where the shape is right now? It's, you know, maybe half of the bowl. Here, I'll try and spread it out so you can see. So here's the bowl. Here's the bowl. It's taking up maybe like, I don't know, down here. So maybe like a third. So I'm putting on some parchment paper. Okay, and now we're gonna microwave this because heat helps the dough rise more effectively from what I've read. So I'm gonna put it in the microwave. Where's the start? Oh. Let's see. Oh, it's kind of hot. So now that I have it, oh, it is very hot. I just put it on top of that. So now that I have this, okay, so I'm using this. It's very hot. I don't know if you can see any steam coming from it, but I'm gonna let it sit for the hour that it needs, 2 hours that it needs, and we'll come back in a little bit and see if it has risen. Okay, so after 2 hours, let's see where our bread is at. Whoa, that's a lot of dough. And I don't mean money. Okay, that is a lot. So, I'm going to pull out my parchment paper again. The recipe says we need to split the dough in half. Okay, so I'm going to dump it out. Oh, it does. It's doing that weird airy thing. I'm going to wash my hands one more time. Okay, so... Oh, I probably should have put flour on this first so I can sprinkle this on. It's important to have flour handy. So keep that in mind. Don't just keep putting everything away like I keep doing. So I have my flour. Okay. So that got rid of the weird circle holes that I was worried about. So this is a good amount of bread. So I'm just gonna tear this in half. I have my pan. I'm gonna put some oil in it. Oh my goodness, that's way too much oil. I mean, I guess most of this will burn off, but I also don't want to waste. So maybe I'll put some extra on the other bun. Okay, so I have it everywhere. So now I'm going to put my bread in my pan. I'm kneading it out. so it spreads out. Okay. And I've been told I need to let it rest for 5 minutes. Now I don't have another one of those bread pans, so I'm going to use this circle-y pan. So let me put some oil on here. Ugh, again, why do I keep using so much? Okay, well I tried to put some of it back, but here. I'm rubbing the oil all over, squishing this down. Okay, now while that is resting, let's go to our next step. Now I have been told that you should put some water into a pan and put it in the oven to give it some humidity. So I'm going to fill up this water container. Put it in here. And then I don't know if I need to wait. Oh, oopsie, I forgot there was already a pan in there. Why do I keep forgetting? Make sure there's nothing in your oven before you start baking. So I'm going to put this in the bottom part of it. And I'm going to close it because it has not preheated yet. Okay, so my timer just went off, so now is the easy part. I'm going to stick my bread in the oven. So we got that. We have the other one. And then I'm going to set a timer. Okay, so the timer just went off. So let's pull out our bread. Ooh. Nice. Here, I'll get a close-up shot in a second. Well, let's turn off the oven, of course. That's very important. Where's the off? There we go. Ooh, nice. So we have our circular bread. It's more like a loaf. Actually, they're both considered loaves, I suppose. So now let's cut them and taste them. Okay. You can do it, it's fine. Okay, so which side do I cut? I guess I like the end. Nope, this is not sharp enough. Oh, it's hot. Fresh out of the oven. Ooh. I don't know if you can see it, but there's steam rising from it. Okay. Now let's put some butter on it. Let's get a close-up of that. That looks good. Oh, there's my husband trying the bread.
It's too hot.
Yeah, I didn't spread the butter yet. Is it good? Let me try it. Nice and fresh. And that's how you make bread. Yay!